Good morning, everybody. I'm very pleased to be here with colleagues from the World Customs Organization, government officials from around the region, and public and private sector partners, and particularly with our distinguished Minister of Trade and Industry, Rob Davies. Minister Davies, we're hopeful that you will be a champion for some of the things that are going to be discussed over the next couple of days. If I have failed to properly acknowledge colleagues from around the region, I will apologize and rely on the South African expression, all protocols observed, or my new favorite modification, I will protocol you when I observe you. And Ambassador Gibbs, my boss, was hoping to be here today, but was called away to Washington on very short notice. This topic is very close to his heart. Trade facilitation, economic integration, growth, and the growth in African economies that Minister Davies spoke of are things that Ambassador Gibbs is very passionate about. And he's very pleased that this conference will help facilitate some of those cooperations that will make that possible. In the recently published strategy for sub-Saharan Africa, President Obama made support for economic growth, trade, and investment one of the highest priorities for the U.S. government in Africa. We believe that Africa is poised to play an ever-expanding role in the global economy. That's why I'm pleased to help kick off this conference, which will present valuable new tools and experiences for promoting an enabling environment for trade and investment. What are the barriers to achieving Africa's aspirations for economic growth, job growth, and investment? How can we improve the efficiency of trade across the Southern Africa region? The number one constraint on trade and on economic growth is the high cost of trading across borders. According to the World Bank's annual Doing Business survey, out of the 183 countries worldwide that were surveyed, Southern African countries perform poorly in the Trading Across Borders Index, with scores ranging between 136 and 164. That's in the bottom quarter of the countries surveyed. So there's a lot of room for growth in this area. The problem is particularly acute in the region's landlocked countries. For instance, more than 50% of Malawi's export prices are logistics cost. Compared to other regions where those costs are typically only 8%, this factor alone reduces the region's competitiveness in the global marketplace. The negative impact of these costs on economic growth, jobs, and poverty reduction has attracted the attention of the highest political and corporate offices in many Southern African countries. The challenge is to address trade constraints by selecting and implementing trade facilitation tools that reduce the cost of trading across borders. Although I take Minister Davies' point about other trade-related priorities as well. I'm pleased that USAID's Southern Africa Trade Hub and the World Customs Organization have brought together presenters who will share international best practices and programs that are being used with positive results by countries around the globe, including some of your African neighbors. Among the tools you'll hear about today, and Eric previewed some of these, are several that are being supported by USAID, such as the National Single Window, a facility that allows parties involved in trade to provide all the necessary documentation through a single entry point, fulfilling all import, export, and transit-related regulatory requirements. The tool can dramatically improve competitiveness with shorter import and export clearance times and an increase in government revenues. Some African countries are already benefiting from this powerful tool. Ghana was the first country in sub-Saharan Africa to develop and launch a national single window, and we're very pleased that Ghanaian officials are here for this conference to share their experiences. Mozambique launched its national single window in December last year. MCNet, the single window operator, is generously sharing its experiences with other Southern African countries. Botswana, Namibia, and Malawi are all in the process of obtaining formal government approval for the development of national single windows. Another important tool is customs connectivity systems that electronically connect customs management across borders. With the support of the United States government, Botswana and Namibia will launch a state-of-the-art cloud-based customs connectivity system at their borders. This pilot allows traders to enter declaration data into the customs management system at a single time at one border, cutting data entry and border dwell time in half. You'll hear more about this pilot project over the next couple of days. Other countries within SACU and SADC are monitoring this pilot with a view to implementing customs connectivity solutions at borders across the region. A third tool you'll hear about is coordinated border management, which aims to improve border management efficiency. USAID's Southern Africa Trade Hub has undertaken border operations assessments and established joint border commissions with action plans to improve efficiency at the borders in Zambia and Malawi. 2 border posts in Zambia recently launched joint inspections, which will significantly reduce the time taken to clear goods at the border. Again, you'll hear more about coordinated border management in the course of this conference. You'll also hear about one-stop border post, which merged 2 stops into one by setting up joint customs and immigration procedures from 2 countries in the same location. The U.S. government is very pleased to partner with the World Customs Organization to promote efficiency and reduce the cost of doing business in Southern Africa by adopting and implementing these trade facilitation tools. So, like the Minister and Eric, I really wish you a great deal of success over the next couple of days as you share lessons learned and think about how you might adopt some of these very important tools. Thank you very much.